You know that moment when you're sitting there thinking about everything you want to do, everything you wish you had the courage to try, and then you start listing reasons why you can't. Yeah, I know that moment because I've been there too. But here's the truth. Those reasons you're stacking up, those excuses you keep repeating, they're not protecting you. They're trapping you. You say you don't have time? You make time for what matters. You say you don't have the money. Neither did half the people who built something extraordinary. You say you're scared? Welcome to being human. Fear doesn't mean stop. Fear means go. Here's what I know. Change doesn't happen when it's comfortable. It happens when it's messy, when it's inconvenient, when you stop waiting for perfect and start moving with what you have right now. And if you're sitting there thinking, but what if I fail? You're already failing if you don't even try. You have to stop arguing for your limitations. Stop telling the story of why you can't and start writing the one about how you did. Because here's the thing, your life is happening right now, not tomorrow, not next year, not when you feel ready, right now. And the only thing standing between you and what you want is the excuse you've been repeating to yourself like it's fact. It's not fact, it's a choice. So I'm going to challenge you to do something uncomfortable right this second. Look yourself in the mirror and say, there is no excuse for not trying. Say it out loud, because until you stop hiding behind your excuses, you will never know what's on the other side of trying. And I'll tell you something Mel Robbins says all the time. You're never going to feel like it. Do it anyway. People don't fail because they aren't capable. People fail because they convince themselves they can't even start. And how do they do it? With excuses. We all have them. I don't have time. I'm too old. I don't have the right connections, the right money, the right body, the right education. Sound familiar? Because I know I've said them too. But here's what you need to hear. Those excuses are lies. Lies you tell yourself to feel safe, to avoid the discomfort of actually trying. And every time you say them, you're building a wall around your own potential. Think about it. There's someone out there right now working 2 jobs, raising kids, dealing with things 10 times harder than what you're facing, and they're still going after it. They're tired, they're scared, they don't have everything figured out, but they're doing it anyway. That should tell you something. It's not about having the perfect conditions, it's about having the courage to start with what you've got. You say you don't have time? That's not true. You have time. You're just choosing to spend it somewhere else. Every time you scroll on your phone for an hour, every time you binge watch that show, you're making a choice. And if that stings, good. It should sting. Because until you face the truth that you're choosing comfort over progress, nothing changes. You say you don't have money? There are people who started businesses with nothing but a borrowed laptop and an internet connection. They didn't wait until they were financially ready. They started with what they had learned along the way and grew. If you're waiting for the perfect moment where you magically have everything you need, it's never coming. Stop waiting for perfect and start with something. And fear it? That's the big one, right? I'm afraid I'll fail. I'm afraid people will judge me. I'm afraid I'm not good enough. Newsflash, everyone is afraid. Every single person who ever did anything worth talking about felt fear first. They did it scared. Mel Robbins says this all the time. You're not going to feel like it. You're never going to wake up one day magically fearless. You have to push yourself. That's how growth works. Here's what I want you to hear, loud and clear. Your excuses are stealing from you. Every day you let them control you. You lose time you can't get back. You lose momentum. You lose confidence in yourself. And the longer you repeat those excuses, the more you start to believe them as if they're facts. But they're not facts. They're habits. And just like any habit, you can break it. So stop telling yourself stories about why you can't. Start asking, what can I do right now with what I have? That's it. No big leaps. No overnight miracles. Just one step. Because once you take that step, you prove to yourself that the excuse was never real, it was fear in disguise. And every single time you do that, you build a little more courage, a little more belief. I'm telling you this because I know how easy it is to fall into the trap of excuses. I know what it feels like to think life is happening to you, not for you. But you're stronger than that. You're capable of more than that. And you owe it to yourself to stop letting excuses run your life. As Mel Robbins says, you have one life. 1. Stop wasting it arguing for why you can't. Start fighting for why you can. Here's the harsh truth you need to hear. Your excuses don't change your life. Your action does. That might sting a little, but it's the truth. You can sit there for hours, days, even years, explaining why things aren't working for you, why life isn't fair, why someone else has it easier, and it won't move you 1 inch closer to where you want to be. Because complaining doesn't build a future, action does. And that's not me being harsh. That's me being honest with you, because no one else will tell you this. Here's what I know from my own life, and from watching thousands of people change theirs. Nobody gets the perfect conditions to start. Nobody. You think people who made it had all the answers? They didn't. They didn't have money. They didn't have time. They didn't have support. You think they weren't scared? They were terrified. They just refused to let that stop them. That's the difference between people who make it and people who don't. One group takes action despite the fear, despite the mess, despite everything screaming, "You're not ready." And the other group waits, and waits, and waits. Waiting doesn't make you successful. Waiting doesn't make you ready. Waiting only makes you older, and I'm telling you right now, you will regret the time you waste hiding behind your excuses. Because you will wake up one day and realize the only thing standing between you and the life you wanted was the story you kept telling yourself about why you couldn't try. Think about this. Every single person you admire started exactly where you are, unsure, unprepared, probably scared out of their mind, but they tried anyway. Oprah Winfrey was told she wasn't fit for television. Michael Jordan got cut from his high school basketball team. Steve Jobs built Apple in a garage, for crying out loud. None of them had guarantees. They just had one thing. You know what it was? They tried. They failed. They tried again. And that's the harsh truth I want you to absorb. Success is not about perfect timing, resources, or talent. It's about refusing to stop trying. It's about looking fear and failure dead in the eye and saying, "So what? I'm doing it anyway." Mel Robbins says this all the time. You're never going to feel ready. So stop waiting to feel ready and just start. That's not a slogan. That's reality. You've got to stop thinking that failure is the worst thing that can happen to you. It's not. Failure is feedback. Failure is proof you actually had the courage to try. The worst thing that can happen to you is waking up in 10 years, wishing you had tried when you had the chance. That's regret, and regret is way heavier than failure. So if you're sitting there waiting for some sign, this is it. This is your sign. There is no magic moment where everything is going to be easy and comfortable. Life doesn't work like that. You want a different life. You want to build something, do something, become someone. Then you need to do something radical. Stop making excuses and start moving. Even if it's small, even if it's messy, even if it's scary. Because here's what happens when you do, your life changes. Your confidence grows. Your world opens up. You stop being the person who talks about what they want to do and start becoming the person who does it. And that's the whole point. As Mel Robbins says, you have one life, and it is ticking by every second. Stop thinking and start doing. Your future self is begging you to try. Fear, that's the thing no one wants to admit, is running the show. You don't try because you're scared. Scared to fail. Scared to look stupid. Scared to hear people whisper. Who do they think they are? I get it. We all feel it. Fear is universal. But here's what most people don't understand. Fear isn't a stop sign. Fear is a green light. It's pointing right at the thing you need to do. You're afraid of trying because you think failure means you're not good enough. That's a lie. Failure means you actually had the courage to do something. Most people won't. Failure means you're in the game, not on the sideline. And that's where growth lives, right in the middle of doing it. Scared. You can't think your way into confidence. You earn it by acting while afraid. You want to know what's actually dangerous, not failing. Not trying, staying safe, because safe doesn't get you where you want to go. Safe keeps you exactly where you are. Safe keeps you exactly where you are. Stuck, frustrated, wondering why nothing changes. Mel Robbins says this all the time. You're never going to feel like it. You'll never feel ready. So stop waiting and start moving. That's the truth. Here's what I need you to understand. Fading, every person you admire has been exactly where you are right now. Terrified, unsure, and one decision away from either staying the same or doing something bold. The difference? They acted, they failed, learned, and then tried again, over and over. That's how confidence is built. That's how success is built. It's never about avoiding fear. It's about walking straight through it. You think people aren't watching. Oh, they are. But not in the way you think. You worry they're waiting for you to fail, waiting to laugh. Most people, they're too busy with their own lives to care. And the ones who do notice you try, you inspire them. You show them what's possible. That's power. That's leadership. So let's reframe failure. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of it. Nobody hits it out of the park on the first swing. Every mistake, every wrong turn, every embarrassing attempt, that's progress. You learn more from falling flat on your face than you ever will from standing still, planning every little detail, and never actually starting. I need you to hear me on this. There is no perfect time. There is no DT. There is no.
The only guarantee.
The only guarantee is that if you don't try, nothing changes. You will stay exactly where you are, wishing, hoping, scrolling through other people's wins, wondering why it's not happening for you. And it's not because you can't. It's because you're choosing not to try. That's it. That's the uncomfortable truth. So what do? You stop waiting to feel ready. You start anyway. You tell yourself, this is scary, but I'm doing it anyway. Because confidence doesn't show up before you act. It shows up because you acted. Mel Robbins says this best. Courage is just taking one step when you don't know what's next. That's it. One step. Every time you take that one step, even if it's tiny, you're building a habit of courage, and eventually the fear doesn't disappear. You just stop letting it drive. You become the person who acts despite fear, not the one who bows to it. That's how lives change. That's how dreams happen. So I'm challenging you right now. Whatever you've been afraid to try. Today, not tomorrow. Not when you feel ready. Today, because you're never going to feel ready. And as Mel Robbins said, if you wait until you feel ready, you'll be waiting for the rest of your life. Okay, let's make this personal. I'm talking directly to you right now. No one else, just you. What is that one thing you've been thinking about? The thing you keep pushing to someday. Maybe it's starting that business, going back to school, hitting the gym, writing that book, or having that hard conversation you've been avoiding for months. You know what it is. And you also know the excuse you keep using to avoid it. I don't have time. I'm too tired. I'm not ready. People will judge me.
Sound familiar?
Here's the truth. Your excuse is not protecting you. It's limiting you. That thing you're putting, it's not going away. It's eating at you every single day. Because deep down you know you're capable of more. And I'm telling you right now, it's time to stop thinking and start doing. I want you to stop what you're doing after this video and take one small action toward it. Just one. Send the email, make the phone call, open the document, and write the first line. Walk into the gym and just step on the treadmill. One step. You don't need the whole staircase. You just need the first step. That's how momentum works. That's how change works. And yes, it's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel scary. But here's something Mel Robbins says that I live by. You're never going to feel like it. So stop waiting. Read that again. You don't need to feel ready to act. You need to act to feel ready. Big difference. So here's your challenge. I want you to drop your biggest excuse in the comments below. Write it out, own it, and then write what you're going to do today to crush it. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Because when you put it out there, when you commit publicly, you create pressure, and that pressure turns into action. You have one life, one shot, and you are burning daylight, waiting for the perfect moment that isn't coming. So stop, take action, comment your excuse, comment your move, and hit subscribe. Because if you're serious about changing your life, you're going to need more moments like this moment where you get called out and reminded of what you're capable of. Mel Robbins says it perfectly. You are one decision away from a completely different. This is that decision. What are you going to do? All right, let's bring it home and hit hard. Listen to me. There's no perfect moment coming. No one is going to knock on your door and hand you the life you want. It's you. It's always been you. And right now you stand at a crossroads. One path is the same one you've been on. Comfortable, familiar, safe, but going nowhere. The other path, it's scary, it's uncertain, but it's where your growth is. That path is where your future self is begging you to go. And here's what I want you to do. Stop waiting. Stop thinking. Stop telling yourself someday. Because someday isn't a day of the week. Someday is code for never. You're watching this video because something inside you knows you're capable of more. That's not an accident. That's not random. That needs your gut screaming at you to move. So here's the deal. I want you to do two things right now. Comment below the biggest excuse you've been using, the one you're done with. Write it out, own it, get it out of your head and into the world. Then right under it, write the one action you today to crush it. Not tomorrow, today. Because action is what changes your life. Not thinking about action. Hit subscribe. Because if this lit a fire here, you need more of it. You need a community that's going to push you, challenge you, and remind you that you're capable of more than you think. Every single video we put out is here to do one thing, get you moving. So join in, because your breakthrough isn't coming from temptation. It's coming from courage. Mel Robbins says this all the time, and it's true. You are one decision away from a completely different life. That decision is yours. You can keep scrolling, keep watching other people chase their dreams, or you can stop making excuses and start becoming one of them. You've got one life, one shot, and I promise you, this 5 seconds of courage, one tiny step, one single choice to start trying, that can change everything. So make that choice right now. Drop your excuse. Commit to one action. Smash that subscribe button and then get to work, because your future self is watching, and they are so damn proud of you for finally starting.